Yo, 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 yo. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Geek Master. I love you. You know we love all things geek here more than vision. We'll love to put a baby in the Scarlet Witch. As usual, I'm your adorably aggravating host, Cassius Samuels. And today, I'm going to keep my word like I said in my last video and deliver my full unfiltered thoughts on the Sokovia Accords from Civil War, aka the shittiest piece of fictional legislation that I've ever seen in my entire life. So brace yourself, because I'm about to ram my ass off like a YouTube savage with zero chill who loves to get pissed off for no reason at all. So strap yourselves in. First and foremost, let's start with the premise of the Sokovia Accords and why it's really nothing more to me than the glorified roll of toilet paper. And I ain't talking about Charmin, baby. In the movie, Thunderbolt shows up at the Avengers headquarters like he's some kind of boss, right? He shows this little montage of the past incidents that highlight death and destruction that he tries to insinuate is the Avengers' fault. And I'm over here like, how? Please tell me how the Chitauri invasion in the first Avengers movie was the Avengers' fault. I'm waiting, please draw me a diagram or something. Because the way I remember it, the Avengers hadn't even been formed yet. And the only reason the Chitauri invaded was because S.H.I.E.L.D. was fucking off with the Tesseract trying to build weapons of mass destruction. Because of that, the Avengers had to come together and they did what they had to do to save everyone's ass. Oh yeah, and please let's not forget that the government / World Council, in air quotations, were the ones who authorized firing a nuclear warhead at New York City, which, if you don't know how to do the math, probably would have wiped out half the fucking state and caused all kind of shit for way more of a blast radius outside of the state of New York. The Avengers mitigated that and cleaned up the government's mess. Period. Then the next incident that they had on the montage was from Winter Soldier, which I'm also pretty sure was centered around a government agency, aka S.H.I.E.L.D., that demonstrated extreme incompetence and allowed itself to be infiltrated by Hydra, which forced Captain America to step in once again and clean up the mess. And let's not forget that this infiltration had been already underway for decades and decades before the Avengers were even formed. So get the fuck out of here with that shit. The only incident that is even remotely connected to the Avengers in my eyes is the whole Ultron situation. And that was actually Tony Stark and Bruce Banner who acted alone. So if somebody needs to be in trouble or somebody needs to be held accountable, why the fuck didn't they arrest Tony Stark and try him for crimes against humanity? Why? Because he signed the Sokovia Accords first? Nah, man. Nah. I'm not riding with that. Because that's just too fucking absurd for me. And then if you look at in Civil War, the whole Nigeria situation where the Avengers were trying to apprehend a U.S. criminal for crimes that he committed on U.S. soil before he released a biological weapon of mass destruction. Yeah, what else did you expect to happen? Some people got killed. Yes, loss of life is a bad thing. But what the fuck should the Avengers have done? Stayed home? I mean, where was the Nigerian government or the National Guard or whatever? Nobody else was there trying to do anything. So what was the alternative here? I mean, think about it. Like I said, yes, people died. Yeah, there was massive collateral damage. I don't want to minimize that or diminish it in any way. But do these fuckfaces realize what the alternative to collateral damage is? Come on, yo. Collateral damage at any level is always preferable to the genocide of all fucking human life. And I wish somebody would try to prove me wrong on this point right now. Don't worry, I'll wait. And another thing, check me out. How about everybody out there that agrees with the Sokovia Accords, the whole concept, humor me for a moment and riddle me this. Tell me, if the Avengers had been working for these 117 countries who drafted the Accords, before all of these incidents happened. So before the New York incident, before Winter Soldier incident, before Age of Ultron, if the Avengers have been working for the government that whole time, does that mean that collateral damage and massive loss of life would suddenly be okay with everybody just simply because now the blame can be shifted to a government? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. What makes the people of the United Nations more qualified than the Avengers to make any decision about a worldwide emergency? I mean, think about it. As a citizen of this world, who would you want making the decisions about a worldwide emergency that threatens all of mankind? A bunch of self-centered, agenda-seeking politicians, or the superheroes who have the knowledge and experience to deal with these situations, and who also understand that with great power comes great responsibility, and for the most part don't have a personal agenda other than serving their own egos. To me, it's not even about shifting the blame like Cap said. To me, the whole situation of having the politicians decide who saves who goes where is like having a witch doctor ask a Ouija board how to perform a triple bypass surgery on you instead of just going to the hospital and letting a cardiologist perform the operation. For real. These politicians don't even understand the threat half of the fucking time, and they think they can just solve every problem by throwing a fucking nuclear warhead at it. Like, what the fuck does the United Nations know about the Chitauri? And why are they throwing a nuclear warhead at it? Ugh! And don't worry, I'm almost done, but I got a few more points to make, and then I promise I'm gonna shut up. But just to help put it in perspective, do you know how many times America has disobeyed the United Nations and went to do their own thing in real life? Like, most recently, they did it with the whole Iraq Saddam Hussein, quote, weapons of mass destruction, invasion, or whatever. So get the fuck out of here when they're talking about oversight in the fictional world. Like, it's just some hypocritical bullshit, because there are plenty of comic examples where the government did some shit that they weren't sanctioned to do with no oversight, and it costed a whole bunch of people their lives and collateral damage and massive devastation and all that. Think about how crazy it would be if the Avengers actually worked for the United Nations, though. Like, how long before the Avengers are doing somebody's dirty work, like destabilizing a country or locking down oil fields, etc.? On top of that, can somebody tell me, since when has it been cool for a politician to strip the liberty of a private entity by forcing them to basically declare themselves as assets of the government? The federal government couldn't legally get Apple to unlock an iPhone, but they think they can force superpower heroes to give up their personal sovereignty as an individual by threatening to send them to a superpower Guantanamo Bay? And they ain't even getting paid for it? Man, fuck you. If I was Cap, I would have told him to suck my star-spangled Sex Pistol and walk right the fuck out, dropping the mic like a gangster. What? Don't get me wrong here, though. In all seriousness, I'm not saying that the Avengers should not be held accountable for situations that can be directly linked to being their fault. But you can't tell me that there's one single good argument for them to be bound to the government in the way that the Sokovia Accords would dictate. Like I said earlier, the Avengers are a private entity that acts as an emergency response team of security for the world, in a way. So they should have to carry insurance for their organization like every other private security company. Maybe even station a legal aid or political consulate of some kind to consult with the Avengers when they're making these kinds of decisions. Like, there are all kinds of other ways to get around this whole government controlling people type deal, because nobody likes that shit. And I'm saying, I mean, y'all know me, all right? Y'all know I wouldn't sign shit. So, you know, I'm Team Cap all the way, especially when it comes to not trusting the government. And from his eyes, he can't trust the government after the whole Winter Soldier fiasco with Hydra hijacking S.H.I.E.L.D. But I would be like, okay, y'all don't want me to be an Avenger no more? Because it sounds like that they were trying to make this argument the whole time that the world would be better off without the Avengers if they weren't going to work for the government. And I'd be like, okay, if that's the case, next time there's some kind of crazy alien invasion or some kind of super villain robot trying to wipe out mankind, don't be looking up in the sky for me to come save you, because I'm going to be on the beach in Asgard, butt naked, drinking screwdrivers, eating pepperoni pizzas, and banging a bunch of strippers from the 9 realms. Because to me, the Accords are just like the fucking Patriot Act, like the non-disclosure of the NDAA or whatever, because they strip rights from individuals and claim it's for your own safety, when it's really shit that they're trying to protect you from that is a direct result of their own fuckery, meaning the government. Like, they fuck up and then be like, oh, we need to pass a new law to protect y'all because we fucked up. Yeah, okay, that's what's up. I'm down with that. Not. But that's why I'm so quick to call BS and jump in a motherfucker's face over this shit in a real life context. But yeah, man, I'm done ranting. Finally, I'm done. But I want to know what you guys think. Do you agree with the Accords, or are you like me and you wish you were in the movie so you could wipe your ass with that shit? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking. Don't forget to drop a like on the video if you found any entertainment value in this presentation. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to catch all the content that comes out of here damn near free of charge, since all I'm charging you is your time. But be grateful I haven't started asking for money yet. Anyway, back on topic. If you don't mind, hook a brother up with a share so I can grow this audience, you know, kind of spread the word or whatever. And that's pretty much it. I got one more Civil War video that I plan to put out, but then after that, I plan to get back to covering some real, actual, relevant geek news. But whatever, man. Peace out, fuck faces. See y'all later. Peace.